Hello. 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 And welcome once again to a Prog Reborn. My name is M. Coaster. This is my progression style playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV. If you don't know what a progression style playthrough is, you can always check out the introduction video. Either type in !intro into the chat, and the bot should give you a link. You can also find that link in the video description below as well. If you'd like to know the next time that I get on for one of these, you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Easiest and best way to get those go live notifications and the channel messages that I send whenever I do go live. But you can also join the community Discord. !Discord gets you that link. That'll get you into the Prog Reborn community Discord. You can also find that link in the video description below. Come hang out and know when I go live explicitly for a Prog Reborn. Last but not least, this is not a reaction style playthrough. This is not my first time playing through the majority of this content. My main is up to date with patch 6.58. What does it say? Say which patch we're on? It does not. I think it's 6.58. So if there is anything that you consider spoilers between patch 2.2 and 6.58, or if you consider any publicly available Dawn Trail information to be spoilers, then I would suggest that you use this opportunity to scoot on out. Protect yourself from any potential spoilers, because I may or may not bring them up. I may or may not give additional warning. Been a while since I had to say all that, because it's been a while since I've done a Prog Reborn live stream, an official one, really. We did have a live stream when the Job Action trailer dropped a couple weeks ago. I considered going live for some of the media tour stuff as well, to go over some of that, but I figured there's so many videos and so much information out there explicitly about that from people who were there, and from what I saw, there wasn't a ton of new information outside of job specific stuff. And really the only thing that I think that I would have authority on would be White Mage. So I just figured there's many better outlets for talking about that new information from Media Tour. And I knew that I was going to be done with my patch 2.1 wrap-up video. Check that out. Did I update the chat command for newest? Let me take a look real quick. The stream elements, custom commands. No, I did not. Let me update that real quick. I know I updated it on the rotating messages, but let me yoink that from there. Yoink that, and then put that text right there. Save that. Let me just test it out myself real quick. Type an ! Newest into the chat. There you go, perfect. That'll get you a link to the video of my 2.1 patch review. Would really appreciate it if you would take a look at that video. You can also find that link as well in the video description below. But yeah, I knew I was going to be starting up these streams again pretty soon. So I figured I'll just leave it to the experts and do my own thing. one last bit of housekeeping. We are getting very close to Dawn Trail, and I think I've decided, I'm pretty sure I've decided this already, and I'm pretty sure I've already talked about this on the stream, but I'm going to be doing my mains playthrough of Dawn Trail on this stream. It's not going to be part of the Prog Reborn playlist. I'll probably make a separate playlist for those playthroughs. And it'll be at my own pace. I don't know whether I would do... I really don't know how those streams are going to go. I have adult responsibilities, so I'm not going to be able to just plow through it. It might be in 2-hour chunks like I do with these Prog Reborn videos. It might be longer. But definitely there will be streams of my mains playthrough of Dawn Trail, and it will be on a separate playlist. We'll just see when and as we get there. So yeah, now back to this. So it's been a bit since we've done this. In the patch 2.1 wrap up, I do talk about what the plans are for patch 2.2, but I'll just go over in a little more detail the notes that I have. I know did I put... I don't think I have anything written about PvP. When did Frontline... No, Frontlines is not till 2.3, so I don't have to worry about that. They only had Wolves Den, which is missing. Sorry. Got off track. So patch 2.2, the big highlights, we're gonna fight Leviathan, the world leader. We've got the next set of Hildebrand. We've got big fishing. We have gardening, which is going to be super great since I was able to secure a house in patch 2.1. So definitely going to be able to start making some pretty good money here. Though I would need to spend a little time researching what actually was available gardening wise. Favnarian onions, were they available back all this way back? If so, then yeah, big bank from the house. If not, then we'll still play with it, because it's definitely a feature that I would try to do if I had a house. Extremes, I believe we get both World Eater. Yeah, we do. I think this is the first time where they've released a new trial and gave you the extreme on the same patch. So we get both the World Eater and then Thorn March, the Good King Mugamog extreme version. A couple new dungeons: Lost City of Amdapor, Halatali Hard, and Brayflock's Long Stop Hard. We finally unlock Retainer Ventures, which might be something that I get to pretty quickly, just so I can get that ball rolling on my retainers. We finally unlock Glamours, which is fantastic. As far as tribal quests, if you watched my 2.1 wrap-up video, you know that the tribal quests weren't really my favorite thing out of it, but we got to do them. Tribal quests: Kobolds and Sahagin are the new tribes in patch 2.2. We also unlock the second Call of Bahamut. We don't unlock second Call Savage, so I still have time to decide whether I'm going to try to do second Call Savage or not. We do also finally unlock, I say finally, but it's not that huge of a deal. They added the ability to do roulette for trials, and I can transmute materia. Which one was transmute? Transmute is the gamble, I think, right? Where you go and turn in 5 materia to whatever the goblin's name is in Central Thanalan to try and get a different materia. So yeah, a lot to do, a lot to see. And yeah, I think the very first thing that I'm gonna do is unlock these retainer ventures, since we're pretty close to. Well, let me before I get too much further, let me just go and show off the house. Again, if you watched this, some of the later videos in my 2.1 series, you would have seen me picking up the house, but I haven't really done too much with it. I've added a couple different things. I added this chocobo stable. I added a couple things that I think were technically past where we are in the patch, but these are definitely help out with videos. The blackboard here, you'll see it at the end of the 2.1 video. And then I added a green screen here for some green screen effect. I've shown before that I can do green screen effect without that, just using reshade, but just having something in-game and it extending to my feet is better in some cases. Jeez, okay. Anyways, I haven't been streaming a ton since we ended the 2.1 series. I've mostly just been logging on so that I can make sure that I don't lose the house, and then running treasure hunts, treasure maps, some solo treasure maps myself, and yeah, that's about it. Let's see. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna go do the retainer ventures. Let's go and do that. Hope everyone's having a great time out there, learning what they can about. Is it here or the other one? Yeah, this one goes to Gridania. So we learn what they can about Dawn Trail. We're finally in the month. It's the 28th when the early access for Dawn Trail happens. I pre-ordered, so I'm going to have early access there. I think this is the ill-conceived venture. Sure. Yeah, ill-conceived venture. Let me double check that this is the actual quest. Here, it's here. An ill-conceived venture, Gridania. 2.2, perfect. She never ignored a summons before. Beg your pardon, sir, but would you be willing to aid a fellow adventurer? It's about my retainer. She hasn't returned from her latest venture, 9 Ives, and I fear something terrible may have happened. I would track her down myself if I could, but I have an important appointment I must needs keep. Mayhap you could go and search in my stead. Alrighty, 9 Ives. That's in east. Just thinking about taking the ferry, but Well, bless you, adventurer. So focused was I on my task that I took no notice of the buzzards in my back. You seem confused. Have you heard not of Ventures? It is a service in which we retainers carry out procurement expeditions on behalf of our employers. Alas, some are not wont to furnish us with sufficient equipment, despite the obvious benefits it would afford both parties. Has he been summoning me this entire time? Pray excuse me. Forgive me, master. I was waylaid by beasts. Yes, by a rodent warrior. How did you know? Of course, as you wish. Seems I must take my leave at once. But before I go, pray allow me to thank you. I have not to recompense you with, but should you inform my supervisor, Parnell, of your deeds, I'm confident she will see fit to reward you. May we meet again, my friend. And do not forget to visit Parnell and the Shaded Bower. As a a quick recall. Danya. I think it's probably faster to go this way. Parswan tray. Cornell. Greetings, sir. I've been expecting you. The retainer you rescued was most effusive in her praise. Retainers are, of course, permitted to refuse an adventure which they determine to be too dangerous. Alas, this particular young woman is new to the profession and was thus easily persuaded by her employer to accept. Beg your pardon. Would like to know more about ventures? Certainly, it would be my pleasure to explain. In cooperation with the Adventurers Guild, we have established a new system which retainers may be dispatched to procure items for their employers. Should you wish to avail yourself of this additional service, you will pay your retainer in advance with ventures, scrip issued by the Adventurers Guild. Here, pray accept these complimentary ventures with my thanks. Bear in mind, the most retainers lack the skill to carry out all but the most menial of tasks. Of course, as they grow more experienced, that will change. If this sounds daunting, let me assure you that it is simple in practice. Why not speak with your retainers and see what they think? Cool. Now to dispatch the retainers in your employ on ventures. Some retainer you wish to send afield and follow the instructions to begin. Cool. So, we got a summoning bell right here. Yep. First assign them a class. Sure. Right, assign a class. Cannot undertake ventures until you assign his or her class. Sure. This can be any one class with the exception of those of the Disciples of the Hand. And this class determines which ventures he or she can embark upon. Be advised you cannot assign a retainer a class you have not yet unlocked. Worry about it. Locked plenty. I mean, to me, miner and botanist. The miner. Sure. Now equip main arm to the retainer. Alright. This one. Then here would have a not high enough. Okay, this one, weathered pickaxe. a botanist. Do I have something for a botanist? Culinarian. I don't know if where's my main botanist gear? Saw, we've got a bunch of saws, we've got blacksmith, armorer, leather worker, alchemist, weaver, culinarian. There's my main botanist one. So yeah, we don't have any. I'll have to go buy one. Okay, so I think I can close. It is now duly prepared to undertake ventures. Sales history. Assign venture. Sure. Right. Right. Yep. Mining. Yeah, I've earned quite a few ventures just from doing the tribal quest stuff, because they gave ventures. Yes. Right. Now let me go, before I get further, let me go tradecraft supplier. I don't think that you have gear. Independent tinker, independent arms mender, culinarian, apothecary. No, I think the gear would be on this side. Battlecraft supplier. Tool supplier. There we are. Type of land 1 through 9. Weathered hatchet. Perfect. Back to here. Same thing for our other botanist. Became a botanist. Whip. Assign venture. Do exploration, but I think I really just want to do this here and pick up ice shards for now. Cool. Okay, cool. So I think next, let's go ahead and get started with the MSQ. Head into the horizon. Let's look at our classes here. Bard and Monk seem to be the furthest behind. Go to Bard. Bard. There we are. Boom, 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 boom. Wanted to see. Oh no, it's not here anymore. I'm a dork. It is in Mordona. That's right. Literally everything about 2.1 was, well, not everything, but the majority of 2.1 was about them upending and going to Mordona. I'm not prey returning to the Waking Sands. I'm prey returning to the Rising Stones. Let's give a chat. It's been so long since I talked with these folks. I don't know if this is new stuff or not. Colnay? I did not realize the Scions had moved until I arrived in Vesper Bay. Thankfully, Arianje was kind enough to direct me here. I know I've only just joined, but if there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. Did Cold Knight join before Hori? No, Hori's over there. As you can see, our Shalian allies have furnished us with a wealth of new tomes. It would be prudent of you to broaden your knowledge as well. I think that's what she said from last time. Jeez, I forgot what I was doing for... I take it you've come to study the tomes as well. Very, very important to broaden your knowledge, as Stola says. Take me with you, Em, please. I said I wanted to take on greater responsibilities, but I didn't expect her to heap tomes on my desk in response. Oh, you wish to help? That's very kind of you, but I can manage on my own. Besides, you should be having grand adventures, not withering away here with me. As ravishing as ever. Perhaps for old time's sake, she would... God, Sam, don't sneak up on me like that. Guards are an easily startled lot. There's Hori. The horror. The horror. I love the smell of victory in the morning. It smells like sweat. No. Muntui sauce. No, victory, yeah. Victory. So here we are. Completely independent and unquestionably neutral. At least more so than before. Truth be told, I cannot say it feels that different. Of course, Ida begs to differ. I now am remembering several of these lines. Thancred trying to take a pass on Flamine. Is it not wonderful, Em? Never a single presumptuous merchant has darkened our door. I know full well they will come in time, but for now let us enjoy the respite. I really should, after these big breaks, watch one of the other older videos with the sound on, so I can remember what voice I was using for these characters. Some of them I still remember, but some of them I don't. Still Waters. Minophilia has a new assignment for you. Really, there is no rest for the weary. Scarce had I begun to make myself at home when I received a request for assistance from Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It would appear their storehouse in Horizon has been the target of a series of covert robberies. Minor as they seemed in isolation, occasional discrepancies in the manifests were long dismissed as clerical errors. It was only during the concern's annual audit that a pattern became apparent. Significant quantities of crystals, and only crystals, were missing. I need hardly tell you what that may imply. The Brass Blades, charged with investigating the thefts, believe that someone within the concern is selling the crystals for profit. Alas, they have as yet been able to identify the likely suspect. The concern's proprietors have grown frustrated by their lack of progress. Needless to say, I would not have agreed to intervene had the stolen goods been of merely monetary value. There is even a possibility that the thief acts not out of self-interest, but in service to a primal. He can ill afford to wait for the Blades to realize their mistake. Pray depart for Horizon at your earliest convenience. Rendezvous with Stola when you arrive. She and Thancred have already begun a preliminary investigation. I have every confidence that the three of you will get to the bottom of these thefts. I hope our fears prove unfounded when you do. Ishtola at Horizon, so literally where we were. Or I'm doing my local record, right? Yep, I am. Perfect. Where is the Stola? Scratching my eye. Whew. Your assistance is most welcome. I have already spoken at length with the brass blades of the Rose, albeit to little avail. It would seem that the thieves took great pains to conceal their activities. I could go into further detail, but your time might be better spent in conversations with Fufalupa. He is the officer charged with leading the investigation, and I would only be repeating that which he relayed to me. Aught eluded my attention, mayhap it will not elude yours. I believe Fufalupa is... God, it's been so long since I did 2.0. I don't even remember what class I started with. If it was in Ul'dah or if it was in Gridania. I think it was in Ul'dah. Anyways, I think Fufalupa had something to do with stuff. Yeah, I remember the rosy cheeks. Yes. What a pleasure to see you again. I should not have said to expect you. Terrible business, these thefts. Yet to confirm the quantity of crystals stolen, but I dare say it may be greater than... but never mind that. I have news to share. A short while ago, the driver of a heavily laden carriage refused to halt for inspection and broke through one of our checkpoints on the Royal Allegan Sunway. The car bolted off toward eastern Vanland, where, thank the gods, I hear that our colleagues were able to apprehend them without further incident. A speeding carriage? Seem a curious choice for thieves of such proven cunning. Yet the Amalja do have a foothold in eastern Vanland. And what of their cargo? Do they carry the crystals we seek? We should be receiving a report any moment now. Fail to see what else it could. Did you miss me, friends? I'm back, and I fear I come bearing disappointing news. On second thought, perhaps it's good news after all. Thank you. Wherever have you been off to? I figured you had everything under control here, so I just took a brief excursion to the east to check up on our Amalja friends. Do you believe it? Happened upon a runaway carriage on the way. I was even able to do my small part to help my friends in the Brass Blades intercept it. In all my years, I've never seen such a prodigious quantity of somnus. The Blades were calling it one of the greatest hauls they've ever seen. The stolen crystals, on the other hand, were nowhere to be found. Is that so? Alas, I suppose we have no choice but to resume our search elsewhere. We should reassess our options as well. Come with us, Em. Alright, what do you got to say? Oh, yeah. That's from way back in the day. And so we find ourselves back where we began. What have I overlooked? Against all expectation, it would seem the Amalja are innocent of this particular spate of crimes. By all indications, they have yet to replenish the stores of crystals exhausted during their last attempt to summon Ifrit. What I can't fathom is why anyone else would go to such lengths to obtain crystals, and in such quantities. It cannot be that we are dealing with simple thieves. If their motive were profit, why would they limit their trade to crystals alone? Plainly, we're missing something. While you think about what it might be, I shall inform Urianger of our progress, or lack thereof.
Now then.
Actual voice acting.
Tis I. The situation may be more complicated than we anticipated.
that all the voice acting we're gonna get?
Indeed, I shall remain watchful. Ere thou goest, another matter requireth thine attention. A young maiden, full eager to... Wherefore inquirest thou of her fairness? Oh, very well. Be she damsel or devil, I shall direct her steps to Revenant's Toll. Save thine insinuations for one given to such impropriety. Thou shalt not find me amenable.
Oh, right. This is Ugiri. The Domans. I know Ugiri was... Or Ugiri was,
Far across the sea from the land of Domar have we traveled. We seek audience with the ruler of these lands. Who here speaks for you?
Ugiri was in the quest, splash screen. Fending, slaying, aiming. Go aiming. Good wishes to discuss how to proceed with the investigation. A final temptation. Any bright ideas? Solitary flash of insight? No? Well then, for want of a better suggestion, I say we try picking Koofaloopa's brain again. Who knows, if we work together, we may yet find something of use nestled away within. Yep, a more subtle approach is in order. Oh, but it's good to see you return. I've given some thought to the matter, and I have just hit upon a most disturbing possibility. How could I have been so blind? Calm yourself, Koofaloopa. What is this disturbing possibility of which you speak? I was contemplating as to how the thieves' activities escaped our notice for so long, and it came to me. What if there was someone among our own ranks conspiring with them? A traitor in our own midst. It would be most unfortunate if your fears proved well-founded, Koofaloopa. Indeed. If for reasons of security, the concern decided to transfer the remaining crystals stored in Horizon to another location, their plans would be discovered the moment the brass blades were informed. Ah, but such a shipment would surely be well guarded. Thieves as wily as ours risk open confrontation. Mayhap not. Neither would the concern be eager to present them with such an obvious target. They might instead elect to carry out the transfer in secret. Trust the goods to say a lone Mikote miner traveling without escort, so as not to attract undue attention. But who? I see. Concern may well elect to do that. To travel with so much cargo would be a strenuous task indeed. This miner would certainly need to rest upon the way. Yep, north of the bridge to Hammerley. A fine spot for a rest, wouldn't you agree, Em? And wait to the north, and I shall do the same to the south. Forgive me, my friends, but I've received new orders. I must inform my men at once. Call me a cynic, but I wouldn't be surprised if the thieves laid down their arms and surrender. You come prepared to offer them some encouragement. Cool. I've forgotten why she dressed as a miner. I've seen the image of Y'shtola in the mining outfit, but I forgot the circumstances behind it. Gods no matter. Kill them all. Ain't dying in this godforsaken hellhole. Y'shtola? Stubborn to the last, as expected. Are you unarmed? Gang of Seawolf thieves, in Thanalan no less. Suppose there's a first time for everything. Seawolves? All of them? Aye, and with all the same taste and facial tattoos. Blue, in case you were wondering. Thieves are a long way from home. Thancred, if you would be so good as to attend to the outstanding matters in Horizon, I have inquiries to make. To Horizon, then. Uvalupa will want to hear about your meeting with the thieves. Tale does not require bard's embellishment. Simply tell Uvalupa what transpired. On behalf of the brass blades of the Rose, I thank you for your service to Horizon. But we have not been idle. While you were afield, we succeeded in identifying the traitor within our ranks. Is that so? Then, by your leave, I should very much like to have a word with the fellow in private. No, I'm afraid that will not be possible. Regrettably, he managed to subdue the unit of blades dispatched to detain him. Made good his escape. Oh, for the love of... And how did he manage that exactly? Your men haven't been sampling that somnus we confiscated, have they? Was he a giant in disguise? No, he was quite strong, a sea wolf. Windsor born and raised, I believe. But do not worry, we will find him. You have my word on that. I see. Pray keep me apprised of any developments. Yes? He's standing next to me. Understood? I fear our time together is at an end, my friend. Your services are required elsewhere. Awfully disappointing, I know, but one must follow where duty leads. You might try to look a little disappointed. You mean to give me another one of your stoic nods? You do, don't you? I'll take the healing. And I'll take the casting. I think I have bought some tombstone earrings for healers. Same thing that he said. I think it has information on your next assignment. The Mother of Exiles. The antecedent bid me tell you to make for Vesper Bay, where young Alphino awaits your coming most eagerly. It was he who requested your assistance. Some commotion or incident. I'm not privy to the details. While you do whatever it is that Alphino has planned for you, I shall endeavor to track down our traitorous brass blade. And when I do, you may rest assured we will have our answers. No, Alphino hates to be kept waiting, don't you? Ah, but of course you do. Carry on then. Boom, 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 bing, 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 bing. I do need to. It's not going to be this stream. This stream's going to be almost certainly only MSQ stuff. But I do need to, on this character, do the Dragon's Quest event. On my main is a Viera, so the hat is not wearable. Neither of the hats are wearable. But on this character, I'll be able to wear the hat. You are late. No matter. I know where our visitors are headed. One I have been able to gather. This vessel belongs to a band of Domans who seek an audience with the Sultana. You're familiar with Doma, yes? Authored. Well, like the rest of the nations of the Eastern Continent, it's been ruled by the Garlean Empire. Given our visitors' unannounced arrival, as well as the state of their ship, I suspect they did not leave their homeland under the best circumstances. Needless to say, I should be very interested to hear their tale. More importantly, know of the current state of affairs of the Empire. Such information could prove most useful. We'd be fools not to pursue this opportunity, don't you think? Do you not think? Come with me to Ul'Daim. Unless I'm mistaken, and I am rarely mistaken, we will find the Domans bickering with a Sultan sworn in the Royal Promenade. You are uncertain of your role in the proceedings? Insurance. If our guests are not themselves Imperial agents, it seems fair to assume that they may be being pursued by some. And if not, who better than you to have on hand in the event of unforeseen diplomatic incident? Besides, I do so enjoy your sparkling repartee. Satisfied? Good. I shall see you in Ul'Dah. People wonder why others don't like Alphino. They weren't reading Alphino. I mean, you could say the same about Thancred. Both Thancred and Alphino were like... They're obviously making a play on the fact that you can't really speak in these situations. But I feel like Alphino's version of that is significantly more pompous. I have to do anything. It matters not how many times you ask. Without the necessary permission, none shall pass. Pray understand, good sir. Not at the leisure to lodge a formal petition. Time is of the essence. All I ask is that you summon your superior. Plead my case. Surely he can grant us that small kindness. Away with you and darken these doors no longer. I will not ask again. Know not what you do. I gather your pleas fell upon deaf ears. A loyal man with a cold heart. Know his kind well. I hope that you will find me more to your liking. Alphino Leveilleur, at your service, a friend. Which I believe makes us very nearly unique, in this part of the world at least. Very few are your allies in Ul'dah. If you need some, if you wish to endear yourselves to the wealthy and powerful, may join me and my associate at the quicksand. May explain your situation to us. We shall see if there is aught we can do to help. Even like this, I'm gonna talk to Bartholomew if he has anything. Even this, seeming good Samaritanism from Alphino here, it's clearly measured. He has a reason for it. It's not purely altruistic. Camera sweeps make you think this is
We have
Waste.
traveled some several thousand miles across the sea from the nation of Doma, in hopes that we might find sanctuary in these lands.
Sanctuary, Lady Yugiri?
Aye. Lying within Othard, Doma was under the dominion of the Garlean Empire, as I'm sure you are aware. When the War of Succession broke out in Garlemald, we espied an opportunity to free ourselves from the yoke of imperial oppression and took up arms. Only to be crushed. And so I gathered what few Domans escaped the reckoning and guided them hither to your shores.
A war of succession? Then the Emperor... Forgive me. You said that Doma was under Imperial rule, did you not?
Doma is gone. Razed to the ground as an example to the other provinces.
12 have mercy. And your people?
On a ship anchored in Vesper Bay, flying borrowed colors. Many were complicit in the rebellion, or akin to those who were. They will not come ashore until I send word that it is safe to do so. I sought an audience with your rulers, but was summarily refused.
The lords of Ul'dah are not wont to entertain foreign refugees without suitable encouragement.
Mayhap I was foolish to expect otherwise, but our supplies run low and we have young ones in urgent need of care. I have seen the tents outside the gates, however. We are not the first to seek asylum, nor will we be the last.
Be that as it may, Ul'dah is no friend to Garlemald. Your tale would stir the hearts of many men and women here. The Sultana and the Syndicate will not be so easily swayed, but I shall see that you are granted an opportunity to plead your case.
This is within your power?
Well, far be it from me to boast, but I do have the ear of certain influential individuals.
I am in your debt.
Lady Yugiri, forgive me for observing, but your choice of attire seems like to evoke feelings of mistrust.
Men are wont to fear the unfamiliar. We know this from experience. We seek only to spare the people of Ul'dah unnecessary disquiet.
I shall defer to your experience, then.
I thank you for your understanding.
It seems I have urgent business with the Flame General. I leave our guests in your capable hands.
It's also they hadn't yet finalized the appearance of Aura. We are grateful beyond measure for this kindness. Lady Yogiri labors day and night for the good of our people. She's an inspiration to us all. I worry for her health. If I may, sir, as I said earlier, we have been at sea for several moons, and our supplies are all but spent. I have not the heart to repeat the tales of our tribulations, nor would I please you to listen to them, I think. Suffice it to say, however, sacrifices have been made. Though it shames me to beg for more when you have already offered so much, desperation compels me. Gentle sir, if you and your associates can spare any provisions, if anything at all, go a long way to lessen the suffering of my people. Anything you can provide would be welcome. Adults can go without, but the children. Hells, why didn't you say so sooner, Em? Of course I'll help. You couldn't have picked a better day, to tell the truth. A wealthy merchant and his entourage were due to have a banquet here on the morrow, see? Just word they can't come. Got a boatload of foodstuff and no one to feed. Best of all, they paid for the lot in advance. Go and call on Friduri and Catherine at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Tell them I sent to ship the little prince's order to the Wakened Sands. And if they argue, just show them those letters. That should set them straight. She's in the business of feeding refugees now. I ain't normally one to question Mistress Momodi's judgment, but that doesn't seem wise to me. Instructions pinned by the Quicksand's proprietress to deliver foodstuffs to the Waking Sands. I'll not speak for the children, but if you ask me, any man what can't earn a crust deserves to go hungry. My, that's a rather odd request. You misheard her instructions. You know, you shouldn't encourage them like this. They'll start to expect it. You mark my words. Back to Momodi. They didn't give you any trouble, didn't they? Good. I'll go and tell Lady Yogiri it's all in hand. I dare not hope for such magnanimity? Much less expected. Mrs. Momodi is generous indeed. I shall be sure to thank her most humbly. Lady Yogiri, I briefed the Flame General on your situation. Oh, jeez. We have been granted an audience. Before the Sultana and the Syndicate both. You should return to the Royal Promenade at once. You have done much for us, Master Alphinaud. I swear we shall return the favor. Naught is owed, Lady Yogiri, for naught has been given. Small favor you won fairly with your own words, and it is with words that you must win the favor of the Syndicate. And I shall choose them with care. You will be accompanying us, yes? Good. Your presence may serve to remind the Syndicate of the true meaning of philanthropy. Nothing so unpalatable will be required of them, assuming the Dolmens are willing to earn their keep. Come, the Flame General awaits us on the Royal Promenade. Ba-ba-bum, bum, bum. Come on, there we are. And who might you be, Mr. Teleji Adleji? You must take pains to illustrate how accepting the Dolmens would benefit Ul'dah. Only then might the Syndicate be swayed. Bards sing of wars which decided the fates of nation. A single word spoken within a council chamber is more like to decide that of mine own. I have heard that the Sultana is a kind and generous ruler. Syndicate, I have heard less flattering things. We are all enemies of Garlemald. Is it not fitting that we should join forces? I wished to greet our guests beforehand and offer my support for their cause. Dolmen Ul'dah, it matters not to me. Birthplace does not equate to birthright in mine eyes. I take great pride in my establishments for this very reason. The Platinum Mirage, in particular, serves as a showcase of the talents of countless men and women born beyond our borders. What's the Platinum Mirage? Is he saying that, like a brothel? Or a pleasure, M. The others are already inside. Let's not keep them waiting. It was Dulala. We've seen that guy in the minor quest.
I'm honored to meet you at last, Your Grace. To mark this auspicious occasion, I should like to present to you the finest treasures our humble nation has to offer. Alas, the circumstances which have brought me here today have divested me of both time and dignity. I come before you as a pauper in direst need of aid, to request that you grant my people asylum.
I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, welcome you to our city. Be at ease, Lady Yugiri. Although I myself have heard the tale of your misfortune, I would ask that you recount it once more for the benefit of the others here present.
As you wish, Your Grace. For many years, my nation, Doma, suffered under the yoke of imperial rule, and my people yearned to be free. Thus, when a war of succession broke out in Garlemald, we sought to take advantage of the chaos and reclaim our liberty. Alas, our enemy proved less preoccupied than we had hoped, and our rebellion was put down in the most brutal fashion.
Those who survived, how many do they number?
More than 200 souls huddle within the cramped confines of our own galleon's hold. Yet this figure accounts for but one of a number of ships which escaped the purge. It is my hope that you will allow us all to dwell within your walls. Should that prove unfeasible, however, I humbly ask that you accept as many of my people as your resources allow. Pray understand, we do not beg a boon, but propose instead an arrangement. We would serve as soldiers or tradesmen until our debt is repaid.
What are the Syndicate's opinions on this matter?
I, for one, think it's a marvelous idea. Lady Yugiri and her people strike me as an industrious lot, and there are parts of the city which have yet to be fully restored. If they are willing to work, I see no reason not to let them.
The head of the Mirage Trust is not known for his generosity. He sees profit in this.
I agree. That said, these are foreign refugees. To admit them would require a formal resolution. Shall we call a vote?
The law is the law.
Lord Lolorito?
Tell me, are you blind or willfully ignorant? Even now, our streets are choked with the displaced victims of the Calamity and Alamigan refugees. They live hand to mouth, subsisting on aid provided by the immortal flames, the cost of which grows ever higher. The wealth of Ul'dah is not without limits, my friends. And need I remind you that these refugees are prone to violence and criminal activity? You have all read the reports, I think. Without homes or employment, it is only a matter of time before men grow desperate and take that which they imagine has been unjustly denied them. Yet, knowing this, you would have us swell their ranks. Mayhap you think the brass blades and the flames are not hard-pressed enough?
Some say the chairman of the East Aldenard Trading Company passes Gil thrice daily. This may explain how he came to be the wealthiest man in Ul'dah. Or it may simply be that he's ruthless beyond reckoning.
Surely the Sultanate can support the few hundred domins Lady Yugiri represents. That our resources have been taxed, I do not deny. But we are hardly in danger of financial collapse. I move that an exception be made.
An exception, Your Grace? I am suddenly reminded of a similar debate some years ago regarding a number of Alamigan refugees, if memory serves. What were your words that day? Yes, the law is the law, and so our visitors remained in Little Alamigo. Mayhap our wise and benevolent Sultana would be so good as to enlighten us as to which other of our laws should not be upheld.
Mind your tongue, Lolorito.
My lord, I share your concern for the welfare of our great nation, but we must endeavor to take a longer view. You know as well as I that people can be a resource still more precious than gil.
Precious or not, they were never yet so reliable. And unlike those who frequent your establishment, I have no desire to gamble with my future. Ul'dah's greatest asset is, and has ever been, her material wealth. We risk this at our peril. One need only look to Teleji Adeleji's example for evidence of the danger in allowing sentiment to dictate policy. How far the vaunted Mirage have fallen, both in repute and profitability, since he began employing refugees.
How I choose to conduct my affairs is not your concern, my lord.
A proposal has been tabled. Given its urgency, I move we forego further debate and call a vote. To accept the Doman refugees or not. Those in favor, I bid you remain. Those opposed, I bid you leave.
that it were within my power to welcome you and your people, Lady Yugiri. As you have observed, however, my authority in such matters is regrettably limited. Without the consent of the Syndicate, I cannot act.
I understand, Your Grace, and I appreciate all that you have done on our behalf.
The nerve of the man! If that bastard had not forsaken the eastern trade route, little Alamigo would now be thriving. Oh, that you should have traveled so far under such dire circumstances, only to be refused in this manner is utterly unconscionable. Pray, accept my sincerest apologies.
Now that the Empire no longer poses an immediate threat, they see little reason to maintain the pretense of unity. The Monitorists have grown especially defiant of late. Lord Lolorito most of all. But this is neither the time nor place for that discussion.
Alrighty. My people could not endure another long sea voyage. But if Uldar will not accept us, what choice do we have? Did they not hear Lady Yugiri's pleas? How can they turn us away knowing what we have endured? Prone to violence and criminal activity? Is he to speak of us thus? Are we to be punished for the sins we may never commit? As Lord Lolorito goes, so goes the Syndicate. It bears repeating that Lord Lolorito does not speak for the Syndicate. The others harbor doubts, I will allow, but in time they shall see the error of their ways. Promises to keep. Raban would like to discuss how to handle the Doman refugees. As you observed, Lolorito is not afraid to speak his mind. Is he like to change it? Oft I have wondered how a man so skilled at weighing the worth of things should be so incapable of seeing the value in people. Waste no more words on him. Not when the Domans are yet in need of aid. Everyone follow me to the Hall of Flames. Bum, bum, bum. I know what eventually happens, but I don't remember how we get there. I will not deny that certain portions of the refugee population have been a burden on the Sultanate, but I take issue with my counterpart's contention that they account for the majority. This they are plainly mistaken. Even so, we must not think ill of them for wishing to protect our great nation. Mayhap I should have considered the likelihood of failure more deeply beforehand. Is there aught we can do to earn the approval of these old dons? We do not wish to live by the grace of others. We want to work, we want to contribute. A galleon is no place for my people, for any people to call home. This cannot continue. The Syndicate has spoken, and I see no point in moving that the matter be reconsidered. The monitors have made their position clear. Agreed. Uldar is not an option. Nor are Limsa Laminsa or Gridania, I judge, given the state of their internal affairs. Leaves our Doman friends confined to a ship. It's the thought of them huddled in an airless hold with no hope for better treatment. But that I had more time to find an alternative, at least not bound by the concerns of the great nations. Minfilia, that's precisely what I wish to discuss. I understand the Syndicate's decision, I do. We all wish to preserve that which is ours, especially when we believe it to be under siege. I cannot meekly accept this judgment, not while my people suffer. It would be out of question for the Sultan to accept us for a limited time, mayhap a week mayhap, or even just a few days. Excellent, I shall keep you informed. Lady Ugiri, I have a proposal if you would hear it. Out with it, Master Alphino. The headquarters of my order, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, stands at a place called Revenant's Toll, an outpost in Mordona. Like most outposts, it's frequented by merchants and other men of action, and lacks the comforts of more well-established settlements. However, the leaders of Revenant's Toll have been doing their utmost to change that. To that end, they have need of able-bodied individuals willing to work as frontier hands. Hard labor, lest you doubt, with not safe food and shelter by way of reward. Terms not unlike those which you yourself propose, Lady Ugiri. Though I will not hear a word said against our beloved Uldar, Revenant's Toll would offer certain advantages, the absence of unhelpful bureaucracy being the most obvious. If they can accommodate us all, we shall gladly accept. Master Alphino, once again I find myself in your debt. Pray do not think me, my lady. The life your people go to is one of hard labor and few comforts, as I told you. And before that, there remains the matter of how they may be safely borne to Revenant's Toll. Be no small feat, considering the distance and their present condition. Mayhap the Uldan Adventurers Guild can be of assistance? Go look for me there anon, M. Lady Ugiri, if you and your people would accompany me, we will discuss what aid the immortal flames can provide. Boom, boom. We are concerned that the Doman refugees may find the journey to Revenant's Toll too much to bear. Too long have they been sequestered aboard their ship, with insufficient supplies and scarce room enough to breathe, let alone stretch their limbs. With that in mind, Mistress Momodi has kindly offered to accommodate the Domans until such time as they are ready to set out for Mordona. Those healthy enough to travel will embark as soon as transportation has been secured, while those too weak to leave at once will be permitted to stay until they regain their strength. What news? Transportation remains our greatest obstacle, General. Is there aught the immortal flames can do? Fear that exceeds our mandate. But a small number mayhap it would go unnoticed. The Syndicate will not bear the cost of escorting more than 200 domans to Mordona. When the government fails to act, the responsibility falls to us private citizens. I will engage the services of the 77 caravans on the Doman's behalf. Very well. We should begin contract negotiations at once. Generosity is most welcome, my lord. After all that has befallen these good people, it is the least I can do. Come what may, you shall ever have a friend in Ul'dah, Lady Ugiri. And you in reverence toll, my lord. Well, it sounds like we all have work to do, Lady Ugiri. Oh, sorry. Lady Ugiri, let's put our heads together and settle the details of our arrangement, shall we? I will entrust the task of escorting our Doman friends to you, after you've rested your own road-weary legs, of course. What say you? I was just looking for another ring. Alphino has mind to send you to Vesper Bay. As we speak, the Domans prepare for departure at Vesper Bay, where from they will be transported by carriage to Ul'dah. That said, this has all been decided rather suddenly, and it would not surprise me if the refugees required some assistance in coordinating their preparations. I would have you return to Vesper Bay to facilitate the process through tasks great and small. In short, whatever must needs be done, do it. Speak of a man named Hosen when you arrive. As Lady Ugiri tells it, he has been designated the leader of the first group. I know that these tasks may seem trifling at times, however they are vital to ensuring the safety of the refugees for their pending journey. Before I get too much further, let's... It's all just there. That our ventures have been completed. First of many. Complete the adventure, gain experience. Sign adventure, mining. Let's just have you doing wind. Here. New or exciting. Seems like it's you can go Earth. For now. Cool. Now we can head back to Horizon. The Vesper Bay. If I remember correctly, Hosen is a side character of some note later on, and all these kids are definitely side characters of note later on. This also is kind of one of the reasons that I some time to talk about this. This is kind of one of the reasons that I wanted to do a journey like this, because I remember on my main, I was gonna say having difficulty, but that's not the right word for it. Just I knew that Domain restoration was something that was possible, but I didn't really. I didn't do any of the side quests in Revenant's Toll, nor really had any thought about the side quests in Revenant's Toll. So when it came time to do Domain restoration, it was like, oh, you have all these weird prerequisites, and that on top of what eventually happens with much later with things like what are the elephant people called? The Akasadara. There you are. The Akasadara tribe quests, requiring you to do these long quest chains in Thavnair. All that kind of stuff where it's like, well, if I didn't have a explicit reason to do them, in really my explicit reason at the time for like the Akasadara was, you know, it's a decent way to earn experience, as I was leveling all my classes up to 90 on my main, or for the Domain refugees or the Domain restoration, it was, you know, kind of wanted to experience it, wanted to. And I can't remember if Domain restoration is a prerequisite to Boja. I don't think it is. But I think also like seeing on other characters or on other playthroughs how the Domain Enclave looked compared to what I had, being like, well, how do I get that? And so, in having the sort of eureka moment of, why do I need to do these weird prerequisites? Well, it's because it's dealing with the Domain folks that were still in Revenant's Toll. Dealing with, you know, getting all their affairs in order so that they can return home to aid in Domain restoration. Like, it all makes sense. And what I don't remember off the dome is when that stuff happened. I think some of that stuff, some of those quests were obviously added in like Stormblood patch content, but I think some of them to a point were just quests that you could do in and around Revenant's Toll at like level 50. So, you know, we'll be able to know pretty quickly as we go through these ARR patches whether I'm correct or not. That kind of gave me the idea, plus all the reasons that I talk about in the intro video. Anyways, let's keep moving. Homay and Hosan. Ugh. Smell their stench on the wind even here. I think Homay is the guy. So I made that short about Isildur and Alianne. I think Homay is the friend, the Domain friend that of Isildur. Maybe it's Hosen. No, I think it's Homay because age difference. Greetings. Alphino informed me that a scion would be arriving to help with the preparations. I am honored to meet you. Shamed as well. A great warrior should not be tasked with such trivialities. I knew from a glance what manner of man you were. I too have some skill at arms, as do many of our people. Pray forgive this trifle, but it might trouble you to help round up the children that have been given into my care. They are most adept at staying hidden from sight. Perhaps your keen eyes will succeed where I've failed. Yeah, my thanks, friend. Pray seek out my son Yozen. He can tell you more. Oh, hello there. I'm Yozen, son of Hosen. Will you be coming with us to Ul'dah? He will be traveling by horse-bird-drawn carriage. But you think they're queer? Giant birds that people ride like horses? I still want to try riding one, but... What's that? We're looking for the others. Don't worry, I already told them to get ready for the carriages. I'll need your help, though. We were just finishing a game of hide-and-seek. The players are still in hiding, and since Lady Yogiri told us to take it really seriously, they won't move until they've been found. Vesper Bay isn't that big, so I bet you can find them in no time. Usual greens. Yay, before. Way. Over the inside. Red, no. Here's one. Not flying. Hey, you're not Yozen. Who are you? I'm Koharu. In progression, eh? I know anyone else was... Wait a minute. One of them... stallions, aren't you? No, scions. Then you must know Lady Yogiri, right? Isn't she great? She's really good at hide and seek, too. Right, it's almost time to go. Nice to meet you in progression. Only got a few more minutes before I'm going to call stream. Got a Lolorito here. Maskless. Give you an idea what his face looks like. How'd you find me? I guess I need to practice more. Maybe you're just good at this. I mean, the Garleans didn't find me. Are you playing? No fair. Yozen didn't say anything about adults. You get to ride a horsebird carriage? I don't know, it sounds scary, but if Yozen says it's safe, I'll go. Wonderful. All the children are counted. Hide and seek. I see that you're curious. It's quite simple, really. Lady Yogiri thought it best the children know what to do in case the Garleans found us. Hope that those days are behind us, but I nevertheless take comfort in knowing that we are prepared. We'll go casting as well. At long last, Hosen and his group are ready to leave Vesper Bay. Let's see, what's the quest? I don't think we're anywhere close to it, but I just want to check. Yeah, Through the Maelstrom is the last quest. The first caravan is to depart shortly, followed by the rest at regular intervals. My family and I, including my stubborn old father, Home, will be traveling in the lead carriage together with young Koharu, who I believe you've already met. Though I understand the world to Ul'dah is regularly patrolled by your brass blades, it would give us great comfort if you would agree to accompany us on our journey. Once again, I thank you for your kindness. When you're ready to leave, please inform our coachman. Just have the fucking bird standing right inside me. Oh, he's masked up. Fascinating creatures. Whence do they come? These reports of a great beast on the world of Ul'dah are most troubling. Ugh. Grandfather is so lucky. Ugh. Horse birds smell terrible. Oh, it's just so fluffy. I'm trying to remember now. I know it's not. It's like falcons in authored in Hingashi, but I don't remember if I've seen any chocobo in the eastern continents. You to be off, are you? Well, I was meaning to have a word with ye about that runner from the blades, so we might have a problem. Fierce-looking beastie has been sighted south of the bridge to Hammerley. Might be as someone's eyes are playing tricks on him, of course, but don't pay to gamble in this business. Now, I know you can end yourself in a fight, but there's a lot here. But this lot's here's another story. So I was thinking ye might go on ahead and have a quick look around. Make sure the area's safe, like. And if you come across anything dangerous, you know what to do. When you're satisfied the way is clear, come meet us outside Horizon. The blades tell me the road there is safe, so I reckon we can make it that far on our own. Assuming the self-same bastards don't try to rob us, that is. So go on ahead, son. Meet us at Horizon when you're satisfied our BC problem's solved. We'll be on our way soon enough. What's the dog's name again? Torgal, that's right. So we need to finish 16 and 7 Rebirth. But then there's Shadow of the Erd Tree, there's Dawn Trail. Both of those take precedence over heading back. It pleases me to see you well. Come, let the coachman know we can continue onward to Ul'dah. I must say that was a surprisingly pleasant ride. The journey to Revenant's Toll will not be so bad after all. They have wings. Does it mean they can fly? Does that mean we can fly if we ride one? Who do you think would win a race? Horse or horsebird? Well, there was a beastie. Was being the operative word, eh? This looks like voiced? Maybe. No. Well fought, sir. Well fought. If only I were in better health. I should have been proud to stand at your side. Pay my son no mind. He forgets that his responsibilities preclude acts of daring do. Be that as it may, I cannot help but envy you. Being able to call upon our heroes of your strength and skill in Doma. Been very different. We cannot change the past. Those who fought and fell are forever lost to us. Lost but not forgotten. Lady Yugiri's kinsmen list of all. They fought fiercest. They knew full well it was in vain. They had every right to walk away. She chose to stay. Food, shelter, the promise of a better life. All this and more we owe to her. How does one even begin to repay such a debt? In kind, Father, she who has given everything, we shall give our all. Whatever work there is to be done, we shall do without question. Ditch digging, bricklaying, it matters not. Revenant's toll will grow and prosper by our hands. Hey, Mr. M. Koharu and I want to know why you became an adventurer. To win glory, I don't know. Glory? I like bringing honor to your family, you mean? His father always goes on about that. It's my turn now. Excuse me, Mr. M. I've got a question. What's Revenant's Toll like? Is it pretty? Bustling outpost, forgotten by countless adventures. It's bastion of civilization in a harsh and unforgettable wilderness. It's home to the sounds of the dawn. It's a stone's throw from an imperial castrum. I don't want to tell her that. I'm going to say bustling outposts, forgotten by countless adventurers. Because that's true. You mean there's lots of people there who are just as strong as you? I can't wait. Enough, Koharu. It's my turn again. Mr. M, when I'm older, I want to be strong like you. What do I have to do? Got new experiences and adventures, fight ferocious beasts, train every day, buy weapons and armor from Rowena. New experiences and adventures. Of course, to be a better adventurer, you need to go adventuring. Alright, that's enough questions for Mr. M. That's not fair. Why does Yozen get to ask 2 questions? I want to know about adventuring just as much as he does. Just one more, please. Do you think I could be an adventurer like you one day? Really? Then I will. Thanks for the advice, Mr. M. I won't forget it. I'm going to be an adventurer too. We get to Revenant's Toll, let's make an adventurer's guild for domans. Protect our friends and punish the wicked. Just like Mr. M and Lady Yugiri. Yeah, just like Mr. M and Lady Yugiri. We talk more about it in the carriage on the way. Will you be joining us? Mind letting Master Alphino know we're here. Stay with the birds. But they could keep an entire legion within those walls. Would you look at that? Be good to sleep in a proper bed for a change, even if it's only for a night. How many steps are there? 100? I'm going to count. The 80 steps, the 80 sins, Sasamo. Therefore, the 80 steps. Sand. I'm gonna call it after we turn this quest in. Run. I pray they do not grow too accustomed to this treatment. It is a welcome respite, to be sure, but a far cry from what we can expect in Revenant's Toll. Has the first group arrived already? Wonderful. Pray inform Master Alphino at once. Welcome your return, Master Progression. I take it the first group has arrived. Excellent. Is there aught else? No. I have matters well in hand here. You and Lady Yugiri should travel to Revenant's Toll forthwith. Yeah, sure. Righty. I think with that quest here, all due respect, cool. That will be it for today's stream. We are back at it, folks. Back at it with a Prog Reborn. About, I don't know, halfway through the MSQ. And we did the Retainer Venture stuff. So yeah, making our way. Thank you so much for watching. If you won't mind leaving a like on your way out, I'd be greatly appreciative. If again you'd like to know the next time that I go online, you can always subscribe to the channel or join the community Discord, !Discord, or check out the video description for a link to the Discord below. And yeah, not much else to say. Glad to be back at it. Glad to be back in a position where I can do these streams again. And I will see you next time I see you.